I'm supposed to be very calm and good boss.
You're supposed to be, so that's...
Very rare.
But you would like to have. So, both of you have to have a positive outcome, frame of reference. That means, let's see how you can synchronize yourself. Okay, Sama, let's go.
I need some
I should be very friendly.
You need to, you know, the scenario is that she's late 1 week, she also knows that.
Yeah, she knows that
she's late.
Okay.
So she's coming 1 week late.
Okay.
So she's
and what
coming.
I'm supposed to do?
Well, you will have to handle it. Because both of you have to be outcome frame oriented. Meaning, what's the best to get out of the situation? She's late, and then your project and whatever it is also late. Therefore, you have to handle her, and you have to handle that. So I need you to demonstrate positivity and outcome frame on both sides.
Come up with a story. Not just like that we are late. So what?
Come on,
with a story.
Here is the door. She's coming. Go ahead, Salma. Stop. Now, how respectful is that?
Oh.
It's not. It's
not. I suggest we replace Salma with one of the girls.
No, because we need to
because
she needs to correct herself. If you do that, she will feel rejected.
Yeah.
She needs to have one of, yes, she will. So eat your stuff. Are you eaten? Shove it in your mouth.
Yeah.
Put it down. Because this is a real situation.
No God, Salma, best of luck.
For your job.
You are late.
अंदर आने से पहले गालियाँ दे लो.
अंदर आके मत दे.
Because we know you do that, it's ego in doing it, right? Because you're just not allowing yourself to be on the same level as the other human being. Hence, there is another human being on the other side. There we go. Go ahead.
Can I come in, sir?
Yeah, sure, please. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Please have a seat.
Thank you.
So, what's happening?
I'm fine, how are you?
I'm good.
So you know what, there was that proposal. I went out of town and I was not having the internet access and all that. That's why I was not able to submit it. So here's the proposal.
But I
I was
think you were
looking for
late.
some advice here so that we can fix it if there is a way out.
Okay, but answer me one thing. When you left out of town, so did you delegate your work to someone else, to some of your colleagues or anyone?
Oh no, so
they
I was
can-
thinking I might be having, the internet connection, so
You
I
are
thought it would
assuming.
be better.
You're not sure.
Stop.
Nice boss.
Stop. Boss needs to be also in a positive frame of reference. You are looking for her failure.
No, I'm just asking if she...
No, you're looking for failure because you're looking for loopholes to put her down.
Okay.
You need to be
Sorry.
the positive outcome has to be from your side. So you started out very, very well, sitting her down, asking how she is doing, and what happened? Putting her to ease.
Okay.
Because if you put her down, she will never do another project ever.
Okay.
Okay? So she came, she said she was out of town and she was sorry. There you go.
Okay. So I think we should have come up with some excuse so we can explain to our client why we are late and make us some story.
That's a good idea. When can we do that?
We always do it.
No, I mean when can we submit this thing with the excuses? Like when can we meet the
Just
client?
call the client and ask for a free meeting. So we can explain.
Will you gonna be with me in that meeting?
Yeah, sure. If you need me, I will be there.
Thank you. Thank you so
But this is not natural.
As I said, you can have your own company.
Yeah.
You are learning here because you yourself have been in that shoes or in that situation. So if you know how it feels to sit there, you want to have someone who understands and helps you to correct it. And then if if there was a boss who understands consequences and give you a lesson saying that this may cost us money because we have to lower our price because this project wasn't done on time. Now, the question is from the boss to Sama is now, how are we going to solve that? Because the next time this happens, it's going to come out of her salary. Now, she's going to think twice. Is she going to assume that there is internet there? Or she makes sure that she takes the Evo device with her for a week? See what I'm saying? Responsibility, building responsibility. Be responsible. Thank you so much. Next.
Hi.
Wasn't that good?
Fine.
Can I?
Yeah.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay. Oh, so you have your phone with you.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I think it must be on silent.
I
Is
guess-
it?
Yeah.
How many calls do you have from me?
I haven't checked it yet. But I was like in the way, so I couldn't check my phone. It was so dangerous to check in the middle of the traffic.
It's
It's
becoming a
not
habit
ethical.
now. No, it's becoming a habit now.
Yeah, mostly outdoors on your order, so.
Okay, basically, well, we received a complaint.
Oh,
Okay, so I just wanted to ask you the status of that
okay.
complaint.
So,
That's why I was calling you up. So, okay, issue was resolved. Paral, next time, I mean, if I'm calling you, so kindly park the car on the side and receive your call.
Okay, is this what you want to take the call on urgently?
Yeah.
This is how you want me to
Yeah.
take the call? Okay.
Is that okay?
I gave attention to very
She was quick and soft.
It was a very good boss.
Very good boss.
Excellent.
And this is
Excellent.
unreceived. He's supposed to. But thank you so much. Any feedback to that?
Yes, I want to add something.
Yeah.
Like, if I would be a boss, I would have told him, like, as myself, I'm using a Bluetooth device. You must try this while driving.
No, Bluetooth device is not allowed while driving.
Really?
Yes.
You should focus.
Where is the rule book? Tell you
I'm sure. I'm damn sure because I attended the
Damn
traffic
sure?
seminar and he told us that Bluetooth device is not allowed while driving. You will lose your focus.
So what is the solution
I gave
from
a
the
solution.
boss? What is what?
Park the car and
Park the car
and receive my
answer
call.
receive the call.
Oh, there is another solution. Buy a cheap mobile, one cheap mobile where you can take anywhere.
And driving के दौरान तो कोई चीज
Can't
हो या
drive.
expensive.
I would
No,
not
you
want
can't
to
because
risk my.
if he's driving, he cannot. So he has to pull over,
But
He
he's-
gave us a solution to park the car and take the call.
take the call.
Now the situation recently is like whenever you are seen on the mobile phone, you show understand. So that's why he gives another solution.
But he's not driving for 24/7. So how can he make excuse that I'm
So
driving?
what is the solution again? What would be the solution? Because right now, what is the problem?
The problem is that he didn't answer my call.
And then didn't even call back.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he didn't call back.
That is the problem.
He
He
should
didn't
call you
even
back
call
whenever
back.
he get through of the driving.
So the solution is what?
Need to stay alert.
Even if you are driving and busy, and the moment you get unbusy and free, then you do what?
Return call.
Return the call.
Return the call.
Immediately return the call. So now how many times do we do this?
Not zero.
Not many times. Now what if we start doing it? We start making the other person feel
Good.
respected and good and valued. Because they made an effort to call you, most likely they want something. If somebody keeps calling you all the time, they might have a problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if you keep avoiding them, okay?
That's what we usually do with the boss. Now we see we're free, we're idle, we see the boss calling and we just put it aside.
Especially, I think with the sales people and the marketing people, they don't receive the call. They don't receive the call at all.
Why? What are they afraid of?
Because they have to give the money to the company, to the organization.
Great, thank you so much. Next one will be Aston is the boss, and he sent that Shady to buy something, and he brought back. Here's your cue.
How are you? I'm fine. What about you?
You have to criticize.
Sir, I got the camera that you asked me to bring. So here you go.
Is that what I asked you to bring?
Oh, okay, but I thought you asked me to bring this one.
Did you not make the video when I asked you to bring that particular camera?
No,
Did you not? Did you write it on the paper or something?
Yes, I did.
Can you show me that? I didn't ask you to bring that particular camera. I asked you something else. You bring the wrong thing.
Apologies for the inconvenience.
No need to apology. I don't need your apology, brother.
I'll just go and
What should I do with your apology?
I'll just go and get the
No,
one
just
that
tell
you
me what should I do with your apology.
Give me a chance, I'll go back and bring the one.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Bring the.
And what's the model name? Can I have the model name?
Write it down. Bring the same thing which I asked you. Don't use your brain, okay? I give you the right instruction.
I'll just do that, sir. Thank you.
Follow that. Good.
Good,
Like
thank
your
you. Feedback.
When he will go again and buy the same camera, then he will lose the opportunity cost, which will affect the company. You are wasting your time by doing it again and again. So you should be careful next time.
That's the right. So how is the boss supposedly be handling this situation?
That's why I asked him, do not use your brain. Just follow the instruction.
Which you were told all the time.
So what if the boss actually asked a question? What was the reason you got that camera?
Maybe I did not clarify, maybe I did not ask.
So what if the boss asked the question? May I ask you the reason, not the
He
why
wanted
question,
the wrong,
the
he
reason.
wanted the different camera model. That's why he bring that particular camera.
So he brought you this model, there was a reason he brought that. You never asked.
Because he wanted that particular model of the camera.
But he overread your question or your request, and he brought this camera. So in order to avoid the conflict and figure out the reason, the question is coming from you, asking what? May I ask the reason?
Why I not? Maybe there was a communication gap.
So what was the comment? So what is the next question is? If you really had it written down, then it was really what you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or if he forget it, then he's just covering up that he forgot what he told you, and he thought he was saying this, and this is what happened. So now what do you do?
And most need to do something. You need to say, okay, I asked that.
Come on,
Okay, the boss forgot what he asked you to write down. He forgot because you wrote down something else. So who's supposed to start thinking about what was on the
The
paper?
boss.
The boss.
But
Because
how do you
the
make
boss
the
is
boss
always right.
realize that, that's...
So let's have a solution. Let's have a solution, and you guys all doing that because you came out with the paper. How to solve that for next time? For sure, you have an objective statement that this is what he told you. What do?
You request the boss to give it to you in writing.
Requisition should be in writing and
Not
it should
really.
be approved.
Maybe I can verify it first. Maybe I can
Yeah.
check, ask for more details and be more specific about what does he really want.
And what is usually what you can do? Normally you have a phone which has a
which has a camera.
Camera.
Maybe I can record the
Record. So next time you say, and you know he is always forgetting what he is asking you to do.
The other thing I'd like to add is ask questions. While the boss is telling you what he needs, you ask questions. The more questions you ask, I mean,
But
that
the
is
next time,
you
if
have
you ask so many questions, then the boss will not
Yeah,
ask
it
you
will obviously
next
offend
time.
him.
If you want to call the boss
But it's better.
and ask him.
You assume that it was the right thing what you
Exactly.
got, because but if you got a feedback like this, it feels injustice, right? Because it's not fair. You told me this is the paper, and because the boss just forgot.
It's based on the information that I
Based on the
received.
information. So in order to avoid that, you have to be very clear, because it was your handwriting. You cannot prove it.
But
So you
if
can
you
prove it
have
by
the
the
task in
video.
front of you. I have a question.
Yes.
If I, let's say I'm right and my boss is wrong, and I have an audio clip that proves it. I mean, if I actually make her hear it, okay, this is what you said, I know I'll be out of job that same day. Because I mean, sometimes they do get very defensive. Okay, how could you record? How?
No. You have to ask permission for the recording. You say,
that
may I
way.
have, yeah, absolutely. Say, may I have please a recording of what you're saying, because I want to be precise about what I'm going to get.
And if
Then
you're right, you don't have to be afraid of losing
Yeah.
job. If you know you're right.
On the recording, you have to ask
At
permission.
times,
So there is a way, yeah. Let me just, clarify. If you have the evidence, you can just show it to the boss and be nice, rather than being insulting and defying and telling him that, hey, listen, dude, it's not me who's wrong, it's you who's wrong. No,
Naturally,
don't
you
do
can't
that.
insult
You
him.
can't be insulting, you have to
Because that's
relay your
giving
message
back
in a
a
nice way.
negative criticism.
Exactly. Be
So you
very
have to-
respectful when you're responding or giving a
So
response.
the question is, what do you want to get out of the situation? Maybe if it's too heated up, you will have to calm down and come back another day.
Yes.
And you know what? By the universal law, if you want to do something, one way or another, time will come when you're going to be able to discuss that. Just trust it.
But Dr. Zsuzsanna,
Trust it,
there's
yes.
one more question here.
Yeah.
Bosses generally here are very, very difficult to handle. Just as Mr. Vakas said, and just like Sana said. There are situations, I know of
So
people
bring
who have lose their
situations
jobs.
and let's practice that.
Yes. People have actually lose jobs just by defending them and clarifying, telling.
So let's bring up. Now I brought to you some examples. Now you bring me examples which you think you need to resolve it. Let's resolve it and let's handle it.
You know what you have to do. You have to fire me right now.
Okay.
Okay.
ये बनाना से वो कर लें तो ये फायर ना
क्यों बनाने का क्या होता है?
from the king
कुछ नहीं आपके रास्ते में थे
What will be the purpose of firing you?
I prove that you are wrong. I show you the evidence and then you don't like it and then you sack me. Is that okay?
Did it actually happen?
yeah sometimes
There are people like that.
Or did it happen here?
No, it didn't.
I want you to bring up live things which actually happened and you don't know how to handle it. So let's resolve it, talk about it, and resolve it.
We are
So
going to
what's-
exercise that. I mean,
What's that?
We want to exercise that. We want to show
You want to? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, yes, we ready?
Yes.
Okay, then.
Okay. Go.
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Walaikum
How are you?
assalam. How are you? I'm fine. What about you? Sit.
Sir, I brought the camera.
Sit. Yes.
Sir, here's the camera you want me to bring.
Is that what I asked you to
Yes,
bring the
yes.
camera?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
Very sure, sir.
Can you show me the video between which I asked you? Or do you have any other evidence?
Sir, I have a video recording of where you said that you want the camera with this model in this lens.
You just wasted 4 hours. I asked you to bring the particular camera. First you bring something else, and now you bring this particular camera. I'm not gonna accept it from you.
But sir, you can see that you just told me this is the model.
Why the hell you record my video? Did I ask you?
Sir,
Did I ask you to record it? Or did I ask you to write it on the paper?
I had your permission, sir.
Can you show me when or how did I give you the permission?
It happened when you allowed that. It happened in front of Fahad and he was also there, so we can.
Probably I'm going to why the hell you are engaging Fahad between you and me?
Fahad is a witness. It happened in front of me, so I can ask him to come in and give a testimony.
Father,
Why the hell you are engaging Fahad between you and me? Did I ask Fahad to bring the camera or did I ask you to bring the camera? I told you before, do not use your brain.
I'm sorry. I am very sorry, sir.
Don't use your brain, just follow the directions and the orders which I gave you. If you do this again, the next time I'm gonna fire you. Do you have any evidence?
Sir, I have.
You fool!
Yeah, guys, please. Sir, I have the video here that same.
Sir, I wanna meeting के बाद ही मेरे fire कर दो.
Sir, the video here shows that you're telling me to bring this month. And I'm very sure I even called you before I made the purchase.
Where is the video? I cannot see any video. Show me where is the video. Not a video. First of all, you wasted the 4 bloody hours. And now you are showing me that there is a video and I cannot see any video. Do you think I'm blind or what? What? No, just go to your seat and send me your resignation letter. Don't come from tomorrow. Go. You're fired.
resignation का आता है, termination.
You are fired. Just give us the things back which you have. The laptop and all the other accessories. Okay? Close the door. Thank you.
You look so happy now, sir.
Happy freedom.
So I think he wanted to be fired.
Yeah.
So nothing happens which you didn't want or wanted that.
But you are supposed to, I mean, he should have reacted when you were fired. Okay, I mean,
I was in a state of shock. I was like, what?
no, you weren't sure.
But I think that he should not drag someone else in his scenario. Like he dragged Fahad in his scenario.
Then you have an evidence.
When somebody is in a heated situation and clearly you are catching him lying. That's what happened. Now what do? He feels bad. He cannot admit it.
I'm embarrassing even further.
So by proving it. So what do? Outcome. You wanna positively solve it.
Stop right there.
Stop right there and
Apologize
excuse
and-
yourself and leave.
Yes.
I come back later. That's it. You resolved it all. Next scenario. You were promised to have a raise 3 months later. But you don't have a proof. And you are asking for the raise. It's not happening.
Who's going to go
Who is
outside?
going to be the boss?
I'm ready to be the boss.
Yeah.
I'm ready to be the boss again.
No, we need somebody else. Who is going to be the boss?
Maybe
No,
Sadia
you
can
got
be
the
the
boss.
boss.
Okay.
And Maru can be the employee.
What?
Poor employee.
What employee?
No, the employee should be someone else.
Employee should be someone
Yeah.
else.
A boy, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are just up for a raise. 3 months is up. And the boss told you, or whoever was employing you, that in 3 months.
You must be very desperate then.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Urdu can. You will just.
अबे निकल रही है।
नहीं, 3 महीने हो गए तुम्हें काम करते हैं, अपने सैलरी बढ़ाने की ट्रिक में कहा गया था 3 महीने में बढ़ेगी सैलरी।
तुमसे वादा
बढ़ नहीं
किया
रही।
था।
अच्छा।
लेकिन अपना आगे बोलने के भाई
जो होगा, जो भी होगा।
अभी 1 महीना हुआ है।
तुमसे वादा किया था कि सैलरी बढ़ा देंगे 3 महीने बाद मगर नहीं बढ़ाई। तब तुम
Should I have to be I want to ask Dr. that should I have to be a negative boss or a positive boss?
You do whatever you want. We will give you your feedback.
Okay.
whatever your experience is,
Yeah, you do. And you handle it whichever way you want to.
आपको ये लाके बोलना
We will learn from it. Either way you do, we will learn from it.
Your boss. हाँ.
No, my
बताओ
boss
कि
is
तुम
there.
शैली क्यों जरूरी है
दो बच्चे
वालेकुम अस्सलाम, बैठिए। क्या हाल है?
ठीक मैंने शायद 3 महीने पहले जॉब पे आया था, तो उसके बाद फिर मुझे तनख्वाह सुनाई थी कि तनख्वाह मेरी बढ़ेगी, तो अभी तक बढ़ी नहीं और आपने कोई रिस्पॉन्स नहीं दिया। मैंने आपको मेल भी की थी।
I have checked your mail, but do you have any proof कि आपकी मैंने वादा किया था during the interview?
मैंने जो भी तीन महीने जो काम किया, मैंने आपका उसको पूरा बायोडाटा मैंने उठा के दिया, ये मैंने काम किया है और जाहिर सी बात मुझे चाहिए।
But I am not satisfied. But I am not satisfied with your work. Unsatisfied soul. I am not satisfied with your work. There are a lot of mistakes in your work जो कि justify नहीं करेंगे आपकी salary.
मिस्टेक की नहीं है।
How can you be so perfect? How can you be so perfect that you? आप कह रहे हैं you have it. I'm not improving it. How can
ये बॉस लग रहा है।
ये boss लग रहा है. There are so many mistakes that I have to decrease your salary, which I can't do it. I have to cut down your salary. That I have to cut down your salary.
बढ़ानी है कम
जी.
नहीं
Because but ये मैं नहीं कर सकती ना, तो it's better कि work this year on the same salary, next year देखा जाएगा.
3 महीने पहले झूठ कहा था।
झूठ नहीं कहा था. It's the work that you have done.
मैंने
The
तो
work.
किया है, मैंने
The
मेहनत
work.
की है।
I'm not satisfied with the work.
Okay, stop right here, please. What is happening? What are they doing?
They are
They
arguing.
are arguing.
They are fighting.
Where is he going?
He's
They are just fighting. They are
He's
not playing
insisting
the
that I'm right.
He's
And
insisting
he's
that
not
I
letting
deserve
you.
an
And then
award.
she's also insisting that she's right. Okay,
She
now
says
let's
that he
correct
has
it.
underperformed.
Let's correct it. Let's correct it. Because both of them need an objective base in order to
I
resolve it.
think she is arguing right, but he's
Because I am saying that your salary should be increased
Now,
according to the performance.
how performance?
Yeah.
So if it's performance, what comes into your brain? Where is my evaluation?
Yeah.
Can I please have a look at my evaluation? It's
Yeah.
public information. So if it hasn't been done on the boss's side, then you will see that she will freeze. And then the next in order to, where is my evaluation?
we got a solid point.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's this company policy, and if it's in your contract that you are evaluated in 6 months' time, then you bring your contract. And if you are employed without a contract, and it doesn't say it, and you just keep working away, then you know what to do. Get it in writing. Or the other one is have a video of it. And then you can have the solution right here saying that, okay, miss, then let's come to new terms and conditions. Would you willing to tell me all this on a video right now? Because I'm willing to work the next 3 months because it was my fault not to take my video in the very first time when we were talking about terms and conditions and there were no paper. So you just swallow the 3 months down and you say, we start right from there. So may I have my video confirmation from you? This is what it is. Say, Shili. Go ahead. No, say it, say it. I'm telling you. What are you afraid of? We are here to resolve
I have
this.
nothing to say.
But you know what? Because in terms of your boss, he's waiting for you to have a guts to stand there and do this. So when are you going to have the guts to do that?
That's the truth.
So if you don't have the guts to say that, okay, I swallowed down, it was my fault.
I do realize that, and I even see that. And I, just answered one of Sana's questions. She was like, she's too afraid to talk to the boss because she feels she's going to lose the job if he does that. Prove the boss that he's wrong or
Everything has to stay on objectivity level.
what I said was I said in return was that maybe you can be polite and be a little diplomatic in your approach, to be a little more wiser.
These are the questions to ask.
Send your message across a little diplomatically.
Yeah? That's the way.
Without offending the boss.
It also depends on the kind of rapport you have with your boss.
Yeah.
We have a rapport training, so some of them knows what to do, and some of them don't. I didn't want to go into that, but having a seat, being on the same level is one of them. If the person is standing and one of them is sitting down, then it's a different kind of scenario altogether. So if one of them is like this, one of them is like laid back, different kind of scenario. So body language needs to be matched. But right now we are only talking about the linguistic handling of pain. Okay? So, did we learn something?
Yes.
Thank you so much for being with us. So, what did we learn? Let's summarize.
I can say something.
Say something. Any comment is welcome. Any feedback?
According to your presentation or the scenario, I just learned that we should be reactive, we should be more proactive. We should go with the proactive approach and deal comfortably. And the thing is, the difference between a normal person and abnormal person is the filtration plant in his mind. Abnormal doesn't filter anything and say whatever comes in his mind.
Is there such a thing, normal or abnormal? No. His only difference is conditioning. Perception and conditioning.
He doesn't filter it, whatever he wants to try to say something, but if we have a positive perception, then we will say, first we will filter the thing, first we will filter our words, and then we will continue. So we will be more proactive.
So what is the bottom line, what we learned today here? When you hear something negative about yourself, what is it to do?
To convert it
Take it positively and
Take it
constructive.
You just said
possibility into an advisor.
An advisor, yes. So we haven't really heard it that much to ask the question back, but you will be hopefully more realizing when it's happening, tone of voice, or the rejecting words that don't know, stupid, all those kinds of things. And the ones that happened, ding dong, cue in your head, light bulb going off, saying that, oh, this is my chance to use my tools now, so let's take a breath. Now what is this all about? What does he really want? So you know the intention is good, find the intention, and
Okay. I have the question.
yes, please find the intention and ask the question how you can improve it in order to fit into that answer. So the answer is from the boss will come with a specific something what he is going to tell you how to improve that.
I have a question. Like if a boss is such like a person who says stupid, you don't have to do this thing, and I did said you do this thing. Okay. Now we have the learning how to tackle that boss and what was his positive objective, and we do these things and we come to an outcome scenario. But how do we change the other person who is constantly, persistently saying these things? Well, like we have handled the situation and we do other work and we come back again and he treats the same way. And how do we change the other person saying the nice things in the feedback?
Can you change anybody without their consent? No. The only thing can change people is what? What can motivate the person to change? Positive reinforcement. Catch them, do the right thing. Because one way or another, they will do the right thing. So catch them, do the right thing. And you can say, you know, boss, thanks so much for saying it that way because it feels so much better. All of a sudden, he will say, do you remember I asked you for the questionnaire? And that was the reason I was asking. So, can we still do it? So, my point of view is, you can never change anyone. Only positive reinforcement will motivate the person to change. So if you constantly asking for the how question, he will start thinking that, wait a minute, they are always asking me back a question. Therefore, it means I have to start being more specific. So you're training the other person that there is a question and they need to start thinking more specifically. Very simple. But as I said, it takes a lot of strength. I know I still do it, but I used to do it 100% of the time. Now imagine how much I improved since then. And remember, only people can do coaching who been there and dig themselves out of there. And we are also human beings, and the moment you do it, you catch yourself and you apologize for it. It's a journey. It will happen, so accept it. The moment you accept it, you will be more aware of it when it happens, and you can catch yourself and correct the situation.
What are your thoughts about adding a suggestion after you were finished asking the how question?
Nothing is wrong with that. When you have a negative criticizing person, they have to give you that. So ask again the how to dig out the question, the answer out of them. So if you want to know specifically what is the suggestion you want to give me a specific suggestion.
Let's say I did not respond in a timely manner and I received a complaint. Now, rather than asking a how question, I would, apologize first and then assure them that this will not happen again.
Okay, so how do you know? But did you resolve that? You don't have any solution. So the solution is asking the how question. So how are you going to be satisfied with my response? How much time do I have? Am I allowed to think or to revert back to you? And then if it's happening a lot, that means it has to be made into a company policy. And it has to be brought forward and put into everybody's contract terms and conditions. This is how serious, if this is what it is, yes.
I think I complicated the question. I'll just
Okay,
read
so
it.
let's make it simple.
Would you recommend giving out a suggestion rather than asking a how question?
How do we give normally a suggestion? Is exploring option. And exploring option, it goes with two words. What if? The what if will take off the pressure from the person and from you. Because you're talking about a theoretical something in the air, which could be very practical. You don't want to humiliate the other person that he never thought of that. And you don't also showing that you are so smart to give a suggestion. But you just say out of the blue. So what if we would be doing this? Wouldn't our customer feel better about this outcome? And then all of a sudden he sits back and starts thinking about as the third person, not internalized as who are you to give me a suggestion. You know what I mean? We just talk, you have to remove the ego thing and get around it. I think we will have to run all those other things, how to say no without saying the words no. How many of you were there? You were there, Shiri, no? Yeah. And how to give up empowering feedback. These are all trainings we ran, so we probably have to do it again. So everybody takes part. Because these are just linguistic skills, and this is called hypnotic language. The Milton, yeah, it is. Because it cuts through the ego, and it goes straight to the subconscious. So which are the magic words when you wanted to ask somebody something to do for you?
Please.
I was wondering.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes.
Somebody is having a stereotype thinking. Like you are the HR manager and you are collecting some resume from somebody and you will see, oh, this is Pakistani. You will reject it. It's a perception of a person It most or how it is perception of a white man, like for us and Pakistani. There is a
That's an
Pakistani,
assumption.
you will.
That's an assumption. That's an
Assumptions.
assumption.
Okay, maybe I am wrong.
It could happen. You are never wrong. You are just saying something which is based on your experience.
Exactly.
That's all.
Exactly.
But it is an assumption because right now, through your experience, it happened that majority of the time you have been rejected because you are Pakistani. How do you get around that? How do you get around that? That your outcome frame is that you want to be approved and got into that job even though you are Pakistani. Now, how can you make a rapport with a person that he's going to take you, not us, thinking about first that you are Pakistani, that you are a good human being with a good value for your work and the good ethics and skills. Now, it's your creativity to demonstrate that before you write it down that you are from Pakistan. So start being creative now. Which is your platform for that, to prove that?
Social media.
Social media. Start making friends.
Exactly. It's our perception as well, because if we got a CV from interior sin or anywhere, so we will see interior sin, so we will reject it. Most of us do the same thing. It
So
happens.
now what are you going to do as an awakened person? If you receive a CV from interior sin, what are you going to do? You take away your assumption and you're actually going to look into that because there may be a gemstone there. So everything has to be taken on a human level out of your heart. Get this out.
Exactly.
So if you know better, you must do differently. And you guys are so resourceful, so talented, so use it. That's my suggestion.
Exactly. Because it happened to us, because I am doing the masters from Maju University, for example, Muhammad Ali Jinnah University, and the job specification is just for IBA and LUMS. Universities are approved to apply for this job.
So what is your question from
My
those people?
Why are they so stereotyped?
Ah, you catching him saying the word
Just increasing the pain.
pain,
Why
increasing
they
the
are doing
pain.
this thing?
So the question is to ask back the people, what are the specific qualifications what you are looking for?
Exactly.
And what if other people could do that? How can I demonstrate it for you that I can do the same things as a LUMS graduate? Now that is the question to ask.
They
What?
don't have time to listen because they are getting 5,000 CVs, 6,000 CVs. Then how would they approve and how would
So
they listen
I
to
believe
us?
this is a good chance for you to start your own business.
Being an entrepreneur.
That's right. Everybody's looking for employment because they're looking for security. So if you are not sure about yourself, it is a chance right now to start working on yourself and start your own business.
Nobody wants to do this.
That's right. Because it's temporary pain of loss, of not having something, having less money and whatever until your business gets started. Now this is why I always encourage people, you have a full-time job, start something on the side.
But we are not allowed to do part-time job here.
Start something else which is different.
Like
Not a part-time job because you are not, nobody is prohibiting you to do something on your own. Not taking another job, I'm not asking you that. Even if you start learning something, preparing, planning something to start your own business, at least do that. Then you know how much you are in your planning while you are still earning money, how far you are to launch your project. So once you are there, really there to launch your project, you can say, Huda Hafiz. And then,
I request you to take a session on this also.
on what?
How to plan or
Yeah.
Basically,
The goal setting, yeah. The goal setting I've been doing with you individually.
Yeah,
But the planning stuff, the business planning, how to make a business plan,
yeah.
Okay, well, I would be lying if I said I'm an expert on that, but I have good templates which I can give you, and that if that's beneficial for you, and I can help you with mission, vision. Those are very, very important things, and strategies, because that I know. And if before you do any business, you have to be clear what you want to do, and then from there, how you want to do it. I can help you greatly. But with the technical parts and money management things of how to, Tony Lazzaro will be the man to do that. But if you already know what you want to do, and how you're going to do it, and what resources you have, that's already a bonus. However, if you are not going to take the time at home after work and on the weekend to take 2 to 3 hours or whatever time that is to spend on it, to start writing it down. Open up a document in your computer and start writing it down. Start making that dream. Remember the 7 layers of your dreams, right? Of your life. 7 goals. And right now, you may be focusing on family because your kids are small. And you need more attention there, and you can start to put some effort into the business, the new business planning, and you have a full-time job. And if you can manage that your wife can also do something from home to chip into the family budget, then you have to give up the cultural thinking on that issue. Because if you are a team at home, then you must be, in order to get to a higher level, you must be okay with the compromise, right? Work out your sacrifice, what you are willing to give up. So if you are okay with that, living in a smaller apartment, having less money for whatever, you make your budget. What are the things what's gonna be less? And if you're okay with that, then you can make the transition. Or at least, and you know that transitionally you will have to work very, very hard because there will be 2 jobs. And it's always like that because the new job that you are starting, you have to do a lot of free work. So no one is telling you that you cannot take up free work. Because in order to build a portfolio, you have to do free work. Do free work. Know that this is bootstrapping. You've got to do it. And sometimes when you bootstrapping, meaning that this is your new business and this is your old stuff, you know that you must sustain this for the money to come in to fuel into this. That's the bootstrapping part. So you must do this, but you know it's temporary. Because all full fueling this is going towards this. You cannot think that this is the world and a big disconnect and you can never have. No. You understand that these 2 are connected. This right now is fueling into this to make it possible so this will fly. So what I actually explain to people is start in your life one thing, get it going, start something, get it going, because if it's new, you have to work for free. You need to count with 1.5 years to 2 years for a breakthrough, 3 years to succeed and fly. This is reality, ask anyone. So you have to be ready for your 3 years of temporary time. It may happen sooner, I don't know, but you better count on that. The minimum is 6 to 8 months. You get your funding in a way. If you're going to make that switch, that the income will come away, that you have enough funds, it will keep the basics going.
Okay.
That's reality. I'm starting my life for the 4th time. 4th time. So this is why I am brave enough to do it, because I downgraded my needs very, very low. So once you do that, and if you get a little more, it's a bonus. So you must work out your sacrifice. Tony Lazzaro, quoting here, thank you Tony Lazzaro. Work it out, what you're willing to give up. Very true. So once you're okay with that, that means re-evaluating what is important. So all of a sudden you're going to be okay with having your family, make sense to your wife that she will need to contribute something. In the meantime, you are doing something for free. Because you cannot get to the next level. This is like if I would translate it into God's words, He's testing you that are you ready to do whatever it takes in order to do it before he's going to hand you that. If not, you will always be stuck in unemployment. So if you develop the big enough desire inside that everything else is better than this, then you can leave it. And you can give up everything and render it out. If you do it smartly, then you start doing step by step. And all my life I know I can bring you examples. For example, I was a nanny, and I know why I was a nanny. It was a way for me to learn English perfectly. I was taking the TOEFL, I was taking care of kids, and was wiping asses, and cooking and washing and cleaning and everything else for 13 months. I took 1 year off from my university because I knew I wanted to go to university in the US. I didn't know how, but I knew I needed English. I knew I needed TOEFL, so I went to work in the US. And it was a miracle, but it happened. And then while I was doing that, I was studying day and night, whenever and I even watched Sesame Street with the kids, just to learn English. So I had to do the TOEFL twice in order to get the results, no problem. I got it, I came back, and all of a sudden I received a scholarship opportunity. I never knew that I'm going to receive that. But I knew I was going to study that. So I received that. I didn't have money to to prove in the US Embassy that I have enough money on my account. So because I had to have a proof of $6,000 US in order to know that they covered my tuition, but living expense I had to show up. And all of a sudden I met a person who became my long-term partner, and he said, I'll give you the money. We put the money into my bank, I went to the visa thing, I did the visa, second day I gave him back the money, and that's how it began. Then I went to the US, and I didn't have a place to live. I was going to be as a living nanny, somewhere to take a room, take care of kids, and go to school in the same time. And he came to my rescue and he said, this is stupid, you're doing your master's, you need to focus. So he got me an apartment. So I had to keep up my living expense, but my rent was covered. So that means I went and I taught aerobics for cash. And I was teaching at the university, plus going to school at night. So I did that, and I knew I wanted to emigrate. So one day I went into one of my professor's office and I said, I want to stay. And he says, it's a good thing you came in because someone just called in and they are looking for this and that. I made a call and I got the job. So that went on and on and on. I was very happy all that, but time comes when then it turned into emigration because he started to sponsor me. And on the end it turns into, as an immigrant, you have to do everything and anything for your boss. That means cleaning the toilet, cleaning the showers. It was a fitness facility. I was doing that. So I was so bored out of my mind, I know that I can't wait this long if I'm not doing something. So I said, okay, let's start thinking. So I was going out for 1.5 years into Manhattan every Saturday to dance and party. And one night, 2:30 in the morning, is a place called NV. I woke up and I said, Zsuzsanna, what are you doing here? All these people are smoking and drugs and alcohol. What do you think? You're going to find a husband here? So I drove home. A week later I was enrolled into my master's in clinical nutrition. Because I didn't want to do PhD in exercise physiology. Nutrition, I wanted more. And I couldn't get into PhD. So I said, very good. Doesn't matter what I do. It will distract me from my work. Because I can't stand it anymore. And I was still in emigration. So I distracted myself, so I had a full-time job, and I went back to a master's program again, which meant me studying, going to school once a month for a whole weekend, meaning 10 hours a day, Saturday and Sunday, driving 80 miles each way. Saturday early morning, going home Saturday night, coming back Sunday morning, going home Sunday night, Next day, 8 o'clock, Monday morning, be at work. Work 10 to 12 hours. Of course I was sick on the end of that. But it was better than just being in a job. Because I know that it will give me an outlet. And then while I finished that, I still didn't have my green card. And I was going out of my mind. And people just didn't listen to me because I only had masters. And at that point, I had 3 masters already. People still didn't look up to me the way that they would take my advice. And so one of my clients told me when he saw me, I was so down. And he says, Zsuzsanna, really, what are you doing here? He says, why don't you have your PhD already? And he says, I have a friend, write your proposal, he will help you to correct it, do it in a way, whatever. So he did. I handed it to University of Sydney and I was accepted by the mother of glycemic index. I have 2 people who did original research in glycemic index and she accepted me. But I couldn't get the scholarship. Then I had to give up America altogether and go back to Hungary where can I afford a PhD. And I cried my brain out that I lost everything. At that time I got my green card, just got my green card. And I gave it up. Actually I took some time off and then for my PhD I had to prepare and I got in. And I had to, I was traveling a little bit, then I had to move back to Hungary. And all of a sudden, when I was in my lowest again, something happened. Somebody called from my advisor, my PhD advisor. She said, from my status, I cannot take this job to do commercials. Please do the commercials. Be a nutrition advisor. So I took it up. The guy became my business partner. I started to do food business. I started to earn money like never before. So it's all about giving up because you know what you want. Give up, know what you want. It will happen. You have to persevere, persevere, persevere. And then I worked my PhD through, part of it is through Malaysia.
You done your PhD in Hungary or?
In Hungary. In Hungary. I couldn't afford any more studies because I took a loan to do my second master's and it was $12,000 and I was paying for my car in the meantime and I had the student loan. I had no family help, 0, none of these. So know what you want is the most important. If you know that and then you start working for it, all of a sudden something happens. All of a sudden something happens.
So you have to follow the right path.
Follow. You know that this is what you want to do and everything is temporary. And then I thought I will finish my PhD in 2.5 years, 3 years. How much did it take me?
6 months? 6 years?
6 years.
6 years. 6 months.
So that's why I'm saying that you got to be patient and knowing, and life will test you. Life will test you. So those are the times to look for these tools and apply it. Know what you want. Know what you want. So sometimes, yes, you have to do this to bow your head and bow your head and bow your head. But you know why you're doing it. Because you know that this is temporary. If this is what you really want to do, then you will. I always say that fall in love with your life. Fall in love with your life. Accept what you have and just follow it. But you must give up things. You will give it back. Sorry for turning this into a biography session.
We enjoyed it.
So how did you
I
end up
never
in,
shared this with you guys. So.
yeah. How did you end up in Malaysia?
Oh, Malaysia, that was a great story. So I was accepted into the PhD school,
Yeah.
and then one of my friends took us out to dinner with his friend who was studying just finishing up his PhD in the same school. So we went out to dinner, and he's asking me what I'm doing, and he's from Malaysia, and I found out he's the advisor of the sports minister.
In Malaysia.
In Malaysia. And it happened in Budapest. Whoever wants to go, go, go. So he said, Zsuzsanna, what you know, this is brilliant, we need you. This is how it happened. So it took 8 months, and then I just finished up all my coursework, and it took 8 months to get, because it's government employment for the ministry, and it took 8 months to actually, from the point to the going, that I actually went. And then I was there 4.5 years. It took me 1 year just to get started to work, because I was parachuted into a job which nobody wanted me there, and I didn't know that. I thought they are waiting for me like, you know, open hands. And there is a white woman shifted here, working with Malays who don't want to work, and they don't want a consultant because the consultant makes them work. And then they never asked for a consultant in the first place. The sports minister above them parachuted in a person saying that you guys need this person because she will get you in shape. So it took me 1 year. I had 4 months. Nobody talked to me in my office. I said, very good. I went into my office every day. I worked on my dissertation for my PhD. I said to them, I need this salary. Okay? You guys don't talk to me? Very good. Every day, I went into my office and I worked on my PhD. Little things, what they asked me, I did it in 1 hour. What it takes them 1 week, I do it in 1 hour. So those are the little things I did here, done. And the rest of the time, I was developing videos. I did my presentations, everything. And that's how I spent my time. Every day I went to the gym. I went running. I had great lunch. I had a great life. I played tennis. I got paid. Great. That's what I did. And I said, I know I'm doing my PhD. And once I'm done, I will be able to more. And then 4.5 years later, I was so sick of it, too much politics. I said, I can't bear with this anymore. So the last 6 months, while they were doing all their funny stuff again, I developed a life in my office on the salary of the Malaysian government. So that's how you do it. You do parallel things always. So during that time, it will be always a heavier load. That's all. Doing a PhD together with this work, that was insane. The dissertation part. Insane. Because I had no weekends. My weekends was all for my weekdays were rest for me. Because the weekends I could have 10 to 12 hours non-stop work at home, which is uninterrupted. Now that's how I spent 2-3 months at a time. Now how many of you do that? This is what is giving up. Yeah.
Okay, you developed a life, and the people who are not coming to talk to you, basically they were in the form of rejection. They were rejecting you as a foreigner person, telling them to do something. So when you addressed, you came to the awareness that they are doing the same, and you developed a life also, and you knew that what are the causes and how it can like change the situation. So how did this situation ended up? Like they were.
I'll tell you how it ended up. It ended up that I always practice what I do, and I know I have to prove myself. So silently, I started to do. Yeah, what I'm meaning, I started to run programs on my own. I just asked my DG, because the only person I was reportable is to my director general, nobody else as a consultant. I said, I'm starting this. He said, okay, I'm starting this. It's okay. So I always did something to shock them. And I brought results. So I wasn't telling my boss. He was hearing it from other people that, again, what she did. And the result was coming back because the athletes were performing better. And why they were performing better was traced back to me. So that's all. I just worked quietly and I produced results. And then what happened now is I just went back now to see them. And I developed and I delivered them Enlightening the Darkness. And they were in a state of shock. Then I told them, said, you guys never knew me on the aspects of I'm teaching inspirational stuff. So when I delivered that, in the first 20 minutes they were so cold. It's like they were my old colleagues knowing that I'm a nutritionist. And it was like knife in the air. They were waiting for where they can, you know, put their little words in and scratch me on that. And you know, it all got resolved. All got resolved. And now these words went to the Director General, saying him, sitting me down and say, Zsuzsanna, we need you. We never know what you're doing, nobody is doing. So sometimes you have to go away from the previous thing for things to change, time to allow, and then time is